Hey Jeff, welcome to the Community Living Golf event. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play through a few times, and then we'll go ahead and put you back in your dress position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your setup, let's just first of all take a look at your posture, which looks great. Spine is straight and on a slight tilt. Legs come down in a nicely unlocked position. Arms hang down nice and naturally in front of you, and the club works out to the ball. So you're achieving a really nice posture in association with good balance. And also from this vantage point, we can take a look at your alignment. We see your feet aiming in this direction here. Carry that out towards the fairway. Now, theoretically, your club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet. Parallel lines on camera would have an appearance of converging. So you're basically set up pretty much down the right center of the fairway, so no issues there as well. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison here between you and Brandt Snedeker. Now we've got some color-coded lines on the screen just to give us a good visual reference as to what swing plane is. We can see with Snedeker, as he initiates his takeaway, he creates good shoulder rotation, bringing the arms and hands back as well as the club. We see the club coming back directly along the red line, meaning he's bringing the club back on proper swing plane. At this point in time, we need to establish some good wrist hinge into play, whereby we're going to transition the club from being below our hands to now being above. And at this point in time, we're going to work the golf club from red up to yellow. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, the left arm and the club are on the yellow line. We have full shoulder rotation, and we do this about a very stable right leg, keeping the weight on the inside part of our right foot. With you, turn your shoulders very nicely, drawing your hands and arms back. Club has a tendency of moving slightly underneath or inside of the swing plane. As we continue to move back here, we continue to get rotation, start to incorporate some wrist hinge, and the club starts to recover back onto plane instead of being laid off. Right here, everything looks really good again. When we finally get back to the top of the backswing here, you continue to turn, arm movement, and we do see that the arms sort of compress a little bit to the core. We overswing the club a little, so we would like to refine the set position at the top of the backswing here with respect to the arms and the club just a bit. You've turned, stable right side, so in general, I mean, you're in a pretty solid position up top here. As we create a transition back into the ball, simply want to take our weight from our right foot, move it to the left, fire the knees and the hips to the target, unwind the core and fire the hands, and in doing so we need to make sure that we're bringing the golf club from yellow back down on top of red. And that's exactly what we see here with Brandt Snedeker. The golf club has returned right back to being on plane. The other thing we want to point out at this stage of the golf swing is the relationship between the lead form and the club. We refer to that as the backwards check mark. It simply means we're retaining angle coming into the hitting zone, which is going to allow us to create a lot of power in our golf swing, let alone getting the club to return back to plane, as we already pointed out, which is also going to allow us to hit the ball straight in accordance to our alignment. With you, you create your transition back in the ball. Hands and arms are dropping, feet are working, knees are working, looks good. You've just moved your hands a little bit over the top though. They're coming in a little over the top and steep, and that's going to have a minor influence on the club here. So at this point in time, we can take a look at your lead forearm and your club and basically say, hey, I've got the backwards check mark. Club head is above and behind my hands. We're retaining angle. So creating power in your golf swing shouldn't be that much of an issue. Only thing is the club is having a very difficult time returning back to plane because the left arm has moved out away from your core a little too much. So at this point in time, your right elbow should be shifted back in behind your body a little bit more, and your left arm should be against your chest cavity a little bit more, and ultimately that would bring that club head right back to being on plane. If we continue to track the club head coming into the ball from this vantage point, I don't think we're going to see your club head return back to plane. So it's going to stay a little bit out, and let me change that color. It's going to stay a little bit out in front. Yeah, and it does. So we connect those dots pre-impact. That's the descending plane that the club was following, whereas Snedeker's follows this red line. So that club is perfectly on plane, and it's ultimately now going to be attacking the ball from what's referred to as inside to outside. So we can clear this off the screen, take a look at the path. His club is slightly inside the ball, expands out to make contact, moves through in a nice natural subtle arc. Your club is outside the ball, moving down and across. Looks like you hit the low inside heel of the club as well, but if you happen to get the ball on the face of the club, what would happen here is you would square the face up relative to that path, and you would pull the golf shot just a little bit left, because you're swinging that club from out to in. Now, if you over release the club, not only will you pull it a little bit left, but you'd hit a little bit of a pull draw or pull hook. And then if you under release that club, you would hit a pull slice. And if you time it perfectly, you'll hit a pull straight shot or just a subtle pull fade that's not going to hurt you at all. So the end result of your golf shot is dictated based on the timing of the club face. When we're swinging the club from out to in, if we over-release the club, follows red. Under-release the club, follows red and then yellow. And then if we time it perfectly, it'll follow red and then blue. Okay? As we continue to carry the golf shot through, just want to notice that impact, Snedeker's right heel's off the ground. We're going to watch the right heel continue to come fully off the ground, up on the toe of the right foot. We can count all the spikes in his shoe. This allows his weight to get to his left side. Hips to square around, shoulders to fully rotate. At impact, you're still flat-footed. Still flat-footed. Actually, we see your left foot slide. So your left foot needs to learn how to plant on the ground and stay there, not pick up and slide. So if the left foot stays there, and now the right heel's coming up off the ground. So you do end up getting some pretty decent footwork there. You get up on your toe of your right foot, and you're standing on your left side. We would prefer you to get up on your off your heel a little bit sooner with your right foot and learn how to plant your left foot better so it's not sliding at all. But nonetheless, your body does get to a pretty decent finishing position there. Okay? Anyways, the athletic ability looks good. Hands work well, back and they fire through. Core's working well. You coil back, uncoil through. Get yourself through to a pretty decent finish there because you have... you definitely create some footwork. You just want to try and refine that a little. Backswing looks good. Want to learn how to maybe redefine your arm position at the top just a little bit. And then ultimately learning how to bring the club down on plane, because you're not that far off. And bringing the club down on plane is really the number one aspect of the dynamic motion and the most important part of a swing. So definitely would like to improve that. And then that way you'll be hitting the center of the club face all the time, and you can maximize the loft and get better trajectory instead of right now in this particular swing. I mean, you're coming from out to in, and you're basically hitting the low inside heel of the club, closing the club face, so you're basically driving that ball almost down into the ground, low and left. And your golf swing is way, way, way too good to hit a golf shot like you just did. You should be hitting golf shots much, much better than that, because your athletic ability looks superb. Okay? Anyways, if at any point in time you ever want to work on any aspects of your golf swing, I'm over at Glen Abbey in Oakville. All my contact information is at the end of the swing analysis. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all, or sit on the committee for any tournaments, and you're looking for a unique gift to provide to your guests, certainly feel free to touch base with me regarding my swing analysis services. Anyways, I hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video, and hope you have a great summer, and maybe we might hear from you. Take care.